So we're actually working towards getting to cotton planting season, which I believe is in February. So we're pretty much going to work our way through till we get to February. We're going to plant that cotton. We're going to try and do some field prep, see what happens. I'm not really prepared for it, no pun intended. But obviously we're going to start feeding that spinnery operation to ramp up our fabric production. And then we're going to distribute that fabric and cotton. I believe fabric is the input for the rope factory. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms for another episode of Riverbend Springs on Farming Simulator 25. So carrying on from last episode, we've had a few changes and a bit of a tidy up of the farm, so I'll just go through what we've done. So we basically put in a second sawmill with the view to get rid of these trees that we're stockpiling. So we've got a whole bunch that we've cut down as part of our cow barn build. We've also put in a second sheep barn, so we've just gone the small footprint sheep barn with a view to push the wool pallets directly into the production. Okay, so we're basically just condensing our operations, so rather than carting the wool over to the spinnery on the other side of the map, we're moving it closer to here, and then we're going to ship that over to our tailor shop automatically. Now cruising down this way, actually before we get there, we put in the bale and pallet storage building, so that's just stockpiling grass bales at the moment. We've had a run of grass bales harvested and baled up, ready to go. Tidied up the farm a little bit, so I've got some equipment lined up. We've also picked up this telehandler, so that's to help just cart the bales around and all that sort of stuff. I've also purchased the pressure washer, so I've tried it out on the rear mower here, so it's looking quite good. So we're going to utilise that. It's also drivable in FS25, which is cool. Combine harvester, so we purchased that outright a few episodes ago. Still running our 2 tractor combo. What else is new? Still running our baler, windrower, seeder, square baler, square bale loader, cotton baler, and then we've still got our grain cart which we're hanging on to. We've also deleted the water tower that was here, so in preparation for clearing some more land. What else have we done? Gotten rid of those pesky tree stumps. Oh, and we're leasing the skid steer just to help sort of manage this area a little bit better. So as we push in those logs to the sell points, it just makes life a little bit easier. Running 3 Crone Profiliner trailers at the moment, so they're stationed at various places around the map for loading pallets and what have you. Same with the forklifts, so that's still happening. Let's cruise over here. So like I said, we've got the second sheep barn, but the cow barn, which is a new addition. So in the previous episode, I think what we were doing was clearing out a pathway for this fence. So we'll just quickly go along and I'll show you what I've done. So I put in the dynamic pasture meadow fence in this area here. So I think this is a pretty good spot for an animal area. Obviously it's on a hill, so it kind of makes sense that we would potentially utilize this area for animals. And I popped in some baby animals, so you can see we've got one guy there. I've also planted the meadow grass as well, which is what you can see visually. A couple of dairy cows. What else we got? The flickering's just because of the trees. We're gonna put in a bit of an access path here. So obviously on the left side of this power pole, we'll get rid of these trees, and then we can use that as a bit of a thoroughfare, getting to the top end and the bottom end of the farm. We'll just cruise back around this way so you can sort of see. So I've left the big trees. All that I did do was clear out the big trees closer to the edge of the fence, especially on the bottom here, bottom area here, just so I didn't get a collision. So it did take a while, but we got there in the end. And I did it off camera because I did have a couple of game crashes, and it was taking a while to get the trees out, process them, speed up time, all that sort of stuff. And we've gone the standard cow barn, so this obviously has the ability to milk and do breeding. It'll also give us slurry and manure. I haven't got a manure heap down, so I'm thinking I'm going to put a manure heap in here at some stage, or just leave this area for future buildings. And that's pretty much it. So let's jump into the animal menu quickly. So cow barn, so what do we got? We've got 1 water buffalo, 1 limousine, 1 Holstein, 1 Brown Smith, 1 Angus. So part of this reason, I bought them as calves, so whatever the lowest value youngest animal you can buy, I've just bought 1 of each just to see how they perform, kind of for testing purposes. They've started eating the meadow grass, as you can see, and they've already started to produce slurry, so I'm just waiting for them to grow up and then become viable So what we'll do is we'll quickly visit here. So let's go visit. So we've got our milk point. We'll have a bit of a closer look. So this barn can have 142 animals. So I think it can have 50 somewhere around there as standard. So we can actually check that while we're here. Let's have a look. So it's this guy here. This menu is just a little bit tricky. So 50 for the cow barn standard and 96 for the cow barn large. So we've gone the standard cow barn. Now I didn't go a breeding barn because I wanted the slurry primarily. And then I wanted the option of being able to do water buffalo and dairy exclusively. And then what I may do is I may move a cattle operation elsewhere. Just depends on kind of how things play out. We're also working towards planting some more cotton and buying the rope factory. So that hasn't happened yet, but that's going to be the next thing on our agenda. So what we're working towards at the moment is, let's just check used vehicles quickly. So another telehandler, another seeder, it's quite good. So we're actually working towards getting to cotton planting season, which I believe is in February. So we're pretty much going to work our way through till we get to February. We're going to plant that cotton. We're going to try and do some field prep, see what happens. I'm not really prepared for it, no pun intended. But obviously we're going to start feeding that spinnery operation to ramp up our fabric production. And then we're going to distribute that fabric and cotton. I believe fabric is the input for the rope factory. Okay. And then I was having a look on the map as well. So that basically completes the production chain for the spinnery, tailor shop, and the rope factory. And the rope factory, which is down this way, so this guy here, the rope maker, that'll help to supply the next required steps for the playground project, along with the wagon builder, which is up here. So this takes timber products and rope, and we'll be able to get wagons. So my understanding is this functions kind of like the boatyard from Silver Run Forest. You basically buy the point, you feed it the materials, and then it produces a wagon and sells it at a predetermined frequency, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But I think the difference is in Silver Run Forest, you didn't need to purchase the boat builder. It basically was there. If you just took materials to it, you ended up essentially. And one other thing, this tree harvester. So we picked up this guy used for 60% off. So we've got a tree harvester ready for ramping up our logging situation. Now we did skip through a fair few months, but the reason that happened is because we had to basically process all those trees. So I've still got a few left over, as you can see here. Where are we? So they're stockpiled, ready to go. There was probably 4 times the amount here, and it was causing some performance issues for the game. So I wanted to get rid of those, and the only way to do it was to cut them up, process them, sleep, get that, and that hence why we got the second sawmill. So let's go ahead and sleep. And we'll work our way towards February so we can get this cotton in the ground. Now I have been having some issues with game crashes and trying to get these episodes recorded. So we're good here. At time of recording, the game's probably been patched and a lot of the issues have been fixed. But that's currently the issue I'm having at the moment. Fence sidekick. Interesting. What's that worth? $7,000. I reckon we will. Let's buy that. Might have a use for it as a bit of a spawn point. There it is there. Cool. Alright, what we want to do now is let's get some of these pallets moved. Also want to check on the clothes production quickly. Actually, let's check on all our production. So sawmills, they can do with the top up. The spinnery on the far side of the map, which is this guy, which is empty because we're not taking anything over. And our tailor shop is still receiving clothes. So basically the limiting factor at the moment is just trying to top up the tailor shop with relevant materials. So let's grab our Manitou and we'll get these pallets loaded, and then we'll go over and load some more wood into the sawmill. So what I'll do is I'll throw on a time lapse while we do these jobs, and then we'll come back in and afterwards. So enjoy the tunes. See you in a few minutes.
I don't wanna save ya, don't wanna be strangers. Let me feel like you know what to do. Leave your limitations, live and go against them. Just let go and start up something new. Cause I know that what you planned out, everything that you built up, isn't what you want. And I know the life you're living isn't that fulfilling. Let me help you out. Lay your love on me, leave your head and let your mind be free. Save yourself and leave the words you've spoken, 'cause some dreams are meant to be.
Alright, there we go. So we'll leave these guys to fill up. Let's check in on the productions. Okay, so... Okay, our wool is full. Sawmills are pretty well full. Animals are pretty much all well fed. I know the sheep are. So one thing with the cow barn I've noticed, you've got to basically get that meadow grass capacity down before they'll start consuming anything else. So I'll get them to eat the meadow first while they grow up, essentially. And then we'll go from there. We've got to pick up those bales as well, so we'll do that a little bit later. Let's go and check. Used vehicles, we've already done that. Crop calendar, still working towards February, so let's go ahead and sleep again. Let's find our spawn point on our motorbike. And we'll just basically monitor those productions, keep things... Well, also got to check the price of clothes, when the best time to sell is. So the price, the peak price did change last year. Okay, so what do we got? Low loader, it looks like a potato. So this is the PM Track 3, so this is a logging / forestry. So this guy can do two logs, 250 grand. I think we'll save our money for the moment to do... Oh, it's the blade. Hang on, so what's that? Standard. Crane, winch and crane, crane and blade. Pass on that for the moment. Alright, let's check in on the pallets. Alright, what I'll do is I'll throw on another time lapse. We'll top up the sawmill, get this wool pushed in, and then we'll come back in. So I'll see you in a minute. Enjoy the tunes. Alright, just checking the sawmill there, everything's looking pretty good. Okay, let's check on the animals. So we're all good on the grass feed. We are all good on the grass feed there. Okay, cows are growing up, which is good. So just going to let them do their thing. What else we got? Nothing at this stage. Let's check the price of clothes quickly. So we've got peak price of April, which is shifted back from June, which is good to know. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep. Alright, here we are in December. Let's check out our used vehicles. We've got L180H. This is a Volvo front loader, which is quite good. Quite like that front loader. But we're staying focused on basically getting the rope factory underway. Let's have a look at productions. So sawmill, pretty good. Now I would have thought it would take those logs by now, but obviously not. Spinnery, pretty good. Clothes, so we're starting to store clothes now, which is good. So we've got a few more months till we get our clothes production up. So let's go ahead, I reckon let's sleep again, get us into January, and then as soon as we hit February we'll get cracking on that cotton planting, and we might even go and do a run up to the playground. We'll see how we're going. We'll have a few things to load, that's for sure. Okay, January, what do we got? A Kubota front loader or wheel loader. Cool, don't really have a use for that, but that's not a bad option. Okay, I think our sawmills will be probably getting pretty low. Yep. So let's go and pop some timber into the sawmill quickly. So that should definitely go 4,000. I mean, that can't be 10,000 litres of wood just sitting there. Let's just chainsaw it and see what happens. Sometimes I find if it's sitting in the area, it won't take it, but if you cut it. So we've got 4,290 in there currently. So that only went up 1,000 litres. Okay, so obviously not ideal to leave them just sitting there. It's a pretty pathetic amount of wood you get. That's what have we got here. This is 2,172, and that only took about 1,000. Wow, that's quite poor. Right, that'll probably sustain us for one more day. So let's go ahead and sleep again, and that'll get us to February, and then we can plant. So let's sleep again. Alright, here we are in February. Just double check the crop calendar and make sure we are all good for planting. Yes, we are. Beautiful. All right, what we'll do is leave this episode here, and we'll come back in next episode, and we'll get this planting underway. So we're going to use our Kins Blue Drive yet again. We'll go and do the baling of the pickup of the grass bales on the field. We'll go and top up our sawmill, tend to our animals, and we'll go from there. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
What you want, and I know the life you're living isn't that fulfilling. Let me help you out. Lay your